Welcome back to MJL 3764 collecting Elvis on vinyl. Today I thought we'd take a look at another 60s regular album. So let's pick one and let's pick Something for Everybody. Something for Everybody was issued in 1961 and reached number 2 in the UK album charts. Front cover looks like that. Front laminated, features 12 tracks, 6 each side, and the famous one side, side 1 is the ballad side, and side 2 is the rhythm side, which splits a lot of fans, but for its day I think it was a good idea. Don't know what you think of the cover. They seem to be going for this in the 60s, this sort of half and half. I think it worked quite well with the movie soundtracks. Just don't like this cover. Don't like the picture. It's like a full-on picture of Elvis. They're obviously trying to advertise the Wild in the Country film, which was around at the time, but I just don't like that shot of Elvis with the eye makeup, and no, it just doesn't work for me, this cover. Never really liked it. Great album, not too enamoured with the cover. The back side's probably even worse. Don't know what you think of that, but certainly this picture up here. Again, advertising Wild in the Country, but Elvis is sort of to the right of the photograph and 3/4 of the photograph is taken up by a car. No, I don't like that. Was available in mono and stereo. Seems to have picked up 3 mono copies. Which look like this. On the large silver spot. And a couple more mono copies here. All the same. This one's got a nice inner sleeve to it, which I don't believe was the original. The original inner normally looks a bit like that. Here's the living stereo copy now. Almost identical, apart from the stereo obviously. Back side again. And the label on the large silver spot with the living stereo. Now this album was reissued quite a number of times in the UK alone, probably 9-10 times, so this is just a small selection, quite a few to collect. There's some nice ones if you can get the red dot from around 1968 and the small orange from 69. In 1971 it was repressed again with a slightly different cover. You can see the white border's now gone. Some of the logos have obviously changed. And the picture's sort of almost like a cartoon effect now. So quite different. The back side, well, probably just the same really. This is the 1977 press on the orange label in stereo. A little later, again, I haven't improved the back. At 81, it was issued again in stereo on the new black RCA label. From a matte cover Now to a full glossy cover in 1984. This was issued on the new German black. With the barcode now at the top. Very similar sleeve. And that's the label. Sticking with the glossy front cover. There's a copy from France on the orange label. This one has a completely different backside. Front looks like that. Colours are slightly different. And the backside's like that. Sure you've seen this picture before. Another record. Check listings there. And it's on the orange. Here's a copy from South Africa. Again, very similar cover. Slightly different backside, no pictures. And the records on the RCA silver spot. Has a few blemishes this record, but plays really, really well. So that was a nice find. Now, I couldn't let this video go without showing my mum's copy, her original copy of Something for Everybody. I don't know where she picked this one up, she can't remember, but she's actually got a German copy. So I don't know where she got it from, but here it is. Look at that, ungradable. Again, the sleeves falling apart. Got sellotape all over it. My mum sellotaped it back together again, and this really is a rarity because when you turn it over, it's upside down. So that's what's left of the back side. I'm sure you want to see the record. I can do this because nothing's going to hurt this record anymore. That's the sleeve. And there's the record with probably hundreds of minute scratches. But again, it doesn't stick or jump. So it used to. The song Judy used to stick, but I put a bit of pressure on the needle as it was sticking, and it seems to have opened up the groove. Not advisable, but it now plays all the way through. Right, let's have a look at the track listing. Well, most fans know that in 1961 albums were albums, singles were singles, so there wasn't originally a single taken from this album. Singles were a separate entity, but about 6 years later, 1967, there was a single issued from this album when they were short of proper studio material, and they issued There's Always Me with Judy, which we'll take a look at in a minute. Favourites from this album, well, as we said, the ballad side, well, they're not all strictly ballads. I would say the strictly ballads are like It's a Sin and Starting Today. They are sort of very slow, but stuff like Give Me the Right's quite bluesy, and Sentimental Me's got a beat to it. So they're not all dead slow, but some people find this side a little too slow for their liking, as it's not a mix and match, but I quite like the idea at the time. If you're in the mood for this, it's nice to put on. Again, all the songs are excellently sung. If I had to pick a couple of favourites, it'd be the first two tracks, There's Always Me and Give Me the Right. Moving on to the rhythm side, now I like all of these. I'm Coming Home is one of my favourite all-time Elvis songs. It's really sung really well, and if you can get away from Elvis's vocal, which I know is hard to do, but if you listen to the actual rhythm on that song, there's a real good rhythm group going there. That song drives along real nicely. I'm Coming Home, one of my favourites. Also, I like Put the Blame on Me, Judy, yeah, like all of them ones. It's available on CD as well. Let's have a quick look at that. It's available on the 20 original albums box set, looking like that. And of course on the 60th anniversary box set, looking like that. In the card sleeves. Also available on FTD. Again, very well done. Nice double CD, nice booklet, lots of information. And it's now been upgraded, which I don't have yet. I passed on it because I do have a lot of the material on it already, but it is available like this on the Complete Sessions FTDs. I have a few of these. I'd like to obviously collect them all, but they're a bit expensive at the moment, so I probably will try to get hold of something for everybody on the Complete Sessions CD in the future. Let's take a look at the single. The single, There's Always Me, Back with Judy, was issued in 1967, 6 years after the album was released. So a bit late to issue this as a single. 1967, Summer of Love, Psychedelia, etc. I think they'd missed the boat by then. But it was a formula they'd used before with Such a Night when they issued that 3 or 4 years after it was on an LP, so they probably thought, let's try and repeat that success, but it didn't work. It didn't even chart actually in the UK, which is very unusual for Elvis. But they did again use it later on when they issued Girl and My Best Friend and Suspicion in the 70s, 76, and they were hits. So it was a formula that did work for them normally, but not this time. So as this record didn't chart, it's probably, apart from the early HMV purple labels with the silver lettering or the gold lettering, they're worth a bit of money on the market now, but apart from the early singles, this is probably quite a good one to get hold of. I've seen this go for anything from £40 to £70, this single, so nice one to get if you can get it on a UK copy. That's a lovely copy, this one. There's Always Me, and the B-side, Judy. Plays really well, this one. Got a couple of jukebox ones here, large centre hole American copies. We've got this one with the nipper. And again the B-side's Judy. And we've got this red label, RCA, Victor. There's Always Me. And once again Judy. So that's the album, Something for Everybody. It's an album which I really like actually, because it's probably a memory thing. My mum used to play this one over and over again, especially side 2. So that probably brings back a lot of good memories for me, this album. So thanks for watching. Till the next time, just remember, while there's music, life's no waste.